It's almost like Treasure Island or something. It's a real adventure story with all of these men on stage and this young man looking for adventure. And then things go terribly wrong.
I looked at a lot of paintings of 19th century ships at sea, and there's such beautiful color and sea effects and cloud effects and mist effects. So we tried to bring all of that to this. This is oddly my third ship at sea show, musical, with ghosts. Oh, they all had ghosts also.
Kevin Adams and Susan Hilferty and I got on a train in January of 2020 and went to see the last whaling ship, which is in Mystic, which has been fully refurbished. And it was a complete thrill to climb around on that boat, to get a sort of tactile sense of what that place was like on a not warm, not cozy day, right? To get a sense of it. It was pretty empty.
Yeah, I play a character known only as Mate. When we meet him, he is the second mate of a whaling vessel in the late 1800s, leaving from the coast of New Bedford, Massachusetts. But he's led a very wayward life. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He's a bit of a con man and a trickster, and just kind of out for himself. So he's been there, he's done that.
I'm played the captain. It's my boat. And why I love playing this, I think it's like an actor's dream, because this is a guy that's in major emotional turmoil at the end of his career. And then there's major turmoil in the latter half of the show.
I am excited for people to hear our vocal arrangements on these songs. These songs are beautiful, and we have these really beautiful vocal arrangements with these really amazing voices.
The producer, Matthew Maston, called me and said, "Do you know the Avett Brothers?" Luckily I did, because John Gallagher Jr. had turned me onto them while we were doing American Idiot, and I thought they were great. And he said he wanted to turn Mignonette, their album about a shipwreck, a very famous shipwreck from the 19th century, into a stage musical. And I said, well, that's kind of interesting. Sure, I'm game, as long as we make a part for Johnny.
It's really made me fall back in love with this art form in a lot of ways. I haven't developed a new musical since I did American Idiot with Michael Mayer on Broadway in 2010, so it's been a long time. And I was really terrified getting into this that I had somehow lost my touch for it. But getting back into a rehearsal room with Michael at a time when it looked like theater was really on the chopping block, so to speak, as so many industries of ours are now in this strange time in which we're living.
People literally came out from 48 out of 50 states for the first show that we did in Berkeley. It's really near and dear to my heart to be singing real authentic indie folk rock. They're a grassroots band that came up playing in dive bars, and years go by and they're playing sold out shows at Madison Square Garden, and that's what it feels like we're doing. We have done the tour from coast to coast. We've met people, we've built a grassroots following, and now we're here, and it feels like such a special marriage of those two worlds.
I feel really connected to it because I've been doing it for so long before we even got here. I've been attached to the production for 5 years. We've done it in workshop form, did it in Berkeley, California, did it at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C.
Bringing it to New York feels like really a dream come true, because it wasn't always the most sure of bets that we were going to get here.
We did Berkeley, but it was at the height of COVID, so nobody really saw it. Even though we sold out the run, nobody saw it because they didn't come. And so the producers made the wise decision to say, okay, once that tide passed the worst of it, let's do another run, and we did Arena. And what was nice is that all four of us stayed together.